Please stop buying the judge after you win pistol. I don't know how many times teams have to lose their anti-eco because they've given the enemy team one of the most broken guns in the game. And it happens all the time. So in this video, I have 4 different examples of when the judge gets dropped to the team that is saving and it ends up working against the team that originally bought it. And it's just a disaster. Starting with my favorite, G2 and Envy. Envy's been going through a lot this season, so why not harp on them a little more, right? So they ended up winning pistol, and here we have Pop-Up with the judge, and looks like the defense are pretty spread out in a 2-1-2. And now against ecos, especially on defense, you really want to avoid overextending, because what ends up happening is that the offense are grouped up as like a death ball, and they can all focus their aim on you, kill you, take your gun, and use it to keep snowballing out of control. And that's what you're going to see this round.
I want extra on Phoenix 4, right? Because he's going to go around the flashes. It's giving Yoru light for him.
Joel getting a little caught yet again, but okay. Keston just wants to hang for that. When did Poppin become 40 health?
I just have so many questions about this play. Like, why are we trying to fight long while we have a judge, and we're trying to support our Neon while we have a ghost, and then we get dinged for all of our HP? And then Kesnet, why is he committing to sewer with a Phantom all on his own? And then Poppin tries to clean up his mess, and that's now a Phantom and a judge in sewer. But wait, it gets worse. So because the offense heavy pressured A, Demon 1 decided to walk all the way down mid, and he's going to trap the attackers in. They are essentially trapped in this little rectangle, and they can't leave anywhere without the defense knowing, right? So the offense have 2 options: run into the crossfire or run into Demon 1. But I know we're talking about judges this video, but I do have to ask, why are we buying a Guardian on Chamber? Has Demon 1 never pressed Q before? Does he not know what his Headhunter does? I mean, I don't know. Maybe we'll hit some nice shots with it, right?
This spawn position.
They certainly know it's possible, right?
This is only a Guardian. If they overwhelm Demon 1, might be in trouble. Yep. Ah, it's crazy. They've broken the net. Now, the world is G2's oyster. They can get across the map wherever they seem to like it.
So the worst part about your teammates, Amazon Prime delivering the enemies free weapons, is that they're used against you. Baby Bade takes down Demon 1 with the Phantom, and then the judge is broken, and Leaf destroys Eggster. Isn't that fun? Maybe we shouldn't be buying the judge. Now, you might be writing in the comments, Teets, the judge didn't lose Envy that round. It was just them overextending. You really wouldn't be wrong, right? So let's look at a better example, right? The judge definitely didn't help last round, but this one we'll be able to see a better example because the defense have 2 of them. Interesting. And one of them tends to be leaning towards B, right? So the offense are slamming B. The defense have 2 judges, 1 in male and 1 on A. And now what's going to happen is Viper's going to rotate off mid after not seeing anything, get close to the B main choke, and give PCF an early Christmas present.
Prominent, yeah, 100%. I think like that's the thing about Eternal Fire, that they're a team that will come from nowhere and surprise you. And that's something that they're going to continue to do. Although Pacific here might grab our attention, as we can see right now.
Okay.
Oh, Dad's stuck in the...
I have to know, what is Echo's thought process here? Why are we going into a bad angle against an eco with a judge? Because all that happens is that the offense are going to jump right into his arms. Neon gets the judge, and then we all know how wonderful Neon judge is to play against, and this dude just gets obliterated backside. What is the setup? And the judge, you know, itself isn't always a problem. It's the thought that you have to retake against a judge that is now in a mind of your teammates, right? And maybe your teammates are tilted, like, why are we giving them a judge? And it alters the way that you have to play around. So it's not even just the judge in itself, it's the thought that, like, there's a judge close by. How does that affect our retake? And it's like a round that should be easily winnable is all of a sudden dangerous because we decided to run at the offense. Viper's head is just sticking out of the smoke. What kind of play was that? Just sit in the choke. Sit like up against the wall of the choke. And now this example might be my favorite of the entire video. So our RQ are going A, the defense are spread kind of in a 2-3, and their judge is sitting behind screens. Now, surely, with Astra playing in such a passive position, nothing wrong can happen to poor Astra and her judge, right? Well, the offense move fast, they flash, they dash, they molly, they go crazy. And at first, it looks like Veryl are playing like in pretty passive positions, and you're like, wait, how are they gonna lose this round to a judge? Well, you wait. So what's going to happen is the offense get the plant down and they realize that they need to go make a play somewhere, right? They have the bad weapons. They're going to get traded out if they just sit around. So Omen flashes and they're fighting ramp. Omen, crazy guy actually gets one, right? But their offense realized that that's not enough. It's not. They need more map control. They need more guns. One isn't going to be enough, especially when we're playing against an outlaw, bulldog, a judge, and a sheriff. Compared to what? A bunch of classics and a stinger. It just ain't going to happen. So they can't stop getting aggressive. So the Messel gets one combined with a deadlock nade. 2v4. I'm sorry, 3v4. Right? You might be still thinking to yourself, how does RRQ win this? How is it even possible? Watch this.
Oh boy. Hello.
Spotting out plenty. Some damage dealt there on him on yet, but the site entry all the same goes over to RRQ for that fast hit of their own.
Crazy guy's a stinger.
It does. This is Valen-esque. Doesn't want to suffer the same fate that G2 did earlier on Split. As LP going to be caught on a timing. Net, however, will grab him, but there's no fast scaling to come through. Flash ends up going in behind him, but it looks like it does enough to deny him the vision. As Jemkin caught by the salvo, and Crazy Guy eventually fallen. Weapon can be collected. Cinder blinded up on yet. Grabs himself a judge. Xpero gets rid of Zuna.
Yeah, so if I haven't made this clear yet, what I'm trying to say is that when you're playing on defense, you do not buy a judge after you win pistol, because what's going to happen is the attackers are going to get it, and then you're going to be a Vero in this position where you now have to retake against a neon judge stuck in elbow, and that is just not fun. So the defense pop out of heaven. They're trying to find this. They're trying to find this neon. Viper gets a shot with the bandit. The judge gets one, gets traded, and now you're in a 1v1. And you lose a round that you originally should have won. I don't even think there was time to defuse the spike. So, again, I got another example for you guys, but I'm telling you, do not buy the judge after winning pistol while you're playing defense. The offense are going to get it. They're going to get the spike down. On offense, it's a little more okay, but on defense, do not buy the judge after winning pistol. I think I made that very clear. On defense, you tend to be more spread out, right? You tend to be playing on your own, making your own play, whether it's aggressive or passive or trying to anchor sight. And what happens is, compared to the offense, you know, they like to stay grouped together and hit a site together. They can overwhelm the lone person, take their weapon, and then use it in that post plan. And when it's a judge, it basically denies one entire choke point that your team can retake through. If the judge is posted on elbow or on screens, you really can't go screens without losing a member. Ramp, you can't really go that way. So what are you going to do? Everybody just drop out of heaven like a bunch of turds into a toilet? It's not going to work. And we got a round from 100 Thieves. So Asuna is going to buy a judge. And as you can see, Cypher's by himself. Neon is kind of by himself behind a Cypher tripwire, by the way. He runs out of garage, wants to help his Cypher anchor sight. Gets absolutely blasted by Jordan's Bucky. Absolutely decimated. Now, if you're 100 Thieves, you're thinking, I have to retake against a Neon judge and a Bucky? How are we going to get through these chokes? Especially without our Neon. What is going to shake our crosshairs? Maybe a Phoenix Flash? Maybe an Omen near sight plus a TP? But, like, do you really want to rely on that to win a round? Of course not. So, now, I do believe this was a little bit of a misplay from Sen. They did force us round, to be fair, so they all have stingers, and maybe none of them like using the judge, but maybe Jurin just doesn't process the fact that the defense dropped a judge. So in this post event, you're going to see that the judge is actually still down mid-site, right? And maybe Sen, like I said, they don't need it because they have the stingers, but I think a judge kills Bang there, right? It gets them the first blood, and maybe, you know, or it gets them they get the trade, and now the defense, you might think that, oh, maybe somebody else has a judge, so they have to play super passive. They can't push smokes. They have to be careful, right? Turns into a 2v2. This round should have been theirs. Now it's a 2v1. And it all stems from the judge. I'm telling you guys, the judge is broken. And if you ever watch a team on defense buy it after round one, after winning round one, I promise you they have a decent chance to lose, and it's going to get overwhelmed. Now, if you don't believe me that shotguns are broken, watch this video right here. I promise. They're broken. Watch it now. Now.